Hi everyone, welcome back. We're off to Poros today. As we make our way towards Poros, we're passing through one of the most historic parts of Greece. Just ahead are the thermal springs of Agia Eleni. It's known since the ancient times for their mineral-rich waters. People have been coming here for centuries to relax and soak in these natural hot springs, and they believe that they have healing properties. Not far from here is ancient Epidavos, one of Greece's most important archaeological sites. It's best known for its incredible ancient theater built in the 4th century BC. Even today, it's famous for its remarkable acoustics. It's said that someone standing on the stage can be heard clearly from the very top row, even without a microphone. That's incredible. Epidavros was also home to the sanctuary of Asclepios, the ancient Greek god of medicine and healing. Thousands of people traveled here from across the ancient world, hoping to be cured through treatments, rest, and even dreams, believed to come from the god himself. You can almost call it one of the world's earliest health and wellness destinations. Soon we'll be arriving in the small coastal town of Galatas. At first glance, it might not seem like anything special, but what's amazing is how close it is to Poros. The two are separated by such a narrow stretch of water that the ferry ride takes only about 5 minutes. For many locals, this isn't just a tourist crossing, it's part of everyday life. People travel back and forth to work, shop, visit friends, or simply enjoy a coffee by the waterfront. As we get closer, you'll start to see one of the most beautiful views in the area. The colorful houses of Poros climbing up the hillside with the famous clock tower watching over the harbor. It's a picture-perfect welcome to the island. As we cross over to Poros, here's an interesting piece of history. What we now know as one island actually began as 2 separate islands in ancient times. The smaller island was called Spheria, and the larger one was Calabria. Over the centuries, they became connected, creating the Poros we see today. Calabria was once home to an important sanctuary dedicated to Poseidon, the Greek god of the seas. Ancient sailors would stop here to pray for safe voyages, long before ferries like this were carrying visitors across these waters. Look at those poor people's yachts. Oh, that's nice. What is that, a catamaran? Looks like a sailboat catamaran. The first thing I'm noticing here is the beautiful harbor. The colorful neoclassical houses that climb up the hillside, the cafes that line the waterfront, and boats of every size that fill the marina. It has that classic Greek island charm the moment you arrive. I love that.
Κάνεις, καλά. Όλα καλά. All the φυλακιά in the morning for you.
Προχωράς λίγο και πας και ανεβαίνεις στο σοπάδο. found the Athens.
We're going up to the clock tower. Here's a library. Μου αρέσει που όλα τα σπίτια είναι το ίδιο.
Ναι.
Ίδιο χρώμα. Oh no, κοίτα. Αυτό είναι owl, πώς το κουκουβάγια.
Ναι. Ναι.
If you're taking the fast ferry from Athens, you can be here in just over an hour. By car and the short ferry crossing from Galatas, it takes about 2 hours. That makes Poros one of the easiest Greek islands to visit. Oh, I suggest you visit it. It's well worth it. Even though Poros is close to Athens, it feels like a completely different world here. Life moves at a slower pace, and that's exactly what makes it so popular with the visitors and also with the locals.
Oh no.
As I wandered through the narrow streets of Poros, I kept coming across these small white chapels tucked between the homes. They're simple, peaceful, and easy to miss if you're only sticking to the waterfront. You don't only have to visit the famous monasteries to experience the history. Sometimes all you have to do is open the door of a tiny neighborhood church that's been standing here for generations. Inside this little church, I found a very old icon that immediately caught my attention. I have my own theory about what it's depicting, but I'm not completely sure. If anyone from Poros or anyone familiar with Orthodox icons recognizes this scene, let me know in the comments. I'd love to learn more about it. I think it might be the beheading of John the Baptist, but I'm not sure.
Μην κάνουμε τους κύκλους.
One of the most recognizable landscapes of the island is the Poros clock tower. It was built in 1927, and it's become the symbol of Poros, appearing in countless photographs and postcards over the years. The climb up here is definitely worth it. Oh, my goodness. This is the view from the clock tower.
Εδώ δέσανε το βράχο.
Δεν
μην πέσει.
Μάλλον. The man was asking me if these ropes are how they tied the rock so it doesn't fall down, and I guess yes, that is what it's for. Interesting. I always enjoy seeing how things work, so getting a look inside the clock tower at the old mechanism was a really neat surprise. Does anyone know who manufactured the clock mechanism inside the Poros clock tower? I'd love to know more about its history.
Εδώ δείχνει όλο τον κόλπο μέσα. Με το γαλατά απέναντι.
Πού είναι ο Γαλατάς?
Εκεί.
Oh.
Εκεί φίλε.
Oh, yeah. Πόσο κοντά. From here you get panoramic views of the harbor, the colorful houses, the mainland town of Galatas just across the water, and the surrounding mountains. It's the perfect place to stop, catch your breath, and take it all in.
Κοίτα τι ωραία που είναι η μπουκαμπίλη μες στην κλάσσα.
Wow.
Εγώ έχω μία...
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God.
Τι ωραία με την μπουκαμπίλη.
I know. Κάπου μυρίζω κάτι ωραίο. Κάρβουνα.
Εδώ πίνεις το ποτάκι σου το βράδυ.
By this point, we were definitely getting hungry, so we started looking for a place where the locals like to eat. We ended up at a cozy little taverna called Oplatanos, and it turned out to be a great choice. We started with crispy zucchini sticks, and for the main dish, I ordered imam baldi, a traditional baked eggplant stuffed with onions and herbs topped with feta. It was simple, fresh, and absolutely delicious. Before leaving Poros, I stopped by a coffee shop, bakery type place to get a coffee. And unfortunately, I found out a little late that Poros makes amigdalota, which is a traditional almond sweet, and they're shaped like little cones and dusted with powdered sugar. By the time I found out about them, this bakery that I visited didn't have any, and I would have had to walk quite a ways to go to a different bakery that had them. And I'm pretty mad at myself that I didn't do that because I was too hot, my feet hurt. Now I'm pissed off that I didn't get them. So next time, those little almond cookies will be the very first thing I look for. As much as I would have loved to end the day with a swim, I just ran out of time. Poros is also known for its beautiful beaches, including the famous Love Bay, as well as Mikro and Megalo Neorio, big and small Neorio, where the crystal waters make it easy to see why so many people come here to relax. I guess that just gives me another reason to come back. Next time I'm making sure I leave enough time for the beaches, and of course the famous amigdalota. I hope you enjoyed this video. See you in the next one. Thanks for watching.